Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. Hollywood Peoples. Let's get it. Let me talk to him. Yeah.
Pistols up in the air,
Yeah.
pistols up and they flare. Fifth and dump and I heat them up, lift them out of that chair. 100 rounds in that drum clip, couple pounds in that trunk sit. Few G's in that new V, gun it down in that front flip. Fresh out and I'm back home, chest out and I'm back home. Best route, get your vest out. Few hits in that back gun, new bitch in that cash loan. Hit my jack for that fast loan, pay it back of that 80 clap. 2 clips in that mask on, back to serving them fiends though. Back to earning that green hoe, carnivore for that auto wall. Bullet fly with that beam though, pull the ride on that scene slow. Back out and I lean low, fast out to that trap house. Mac out and that thing blow. Black out with my team, no. We prepared and we all here. Them triggers pressing your niggas straight. Spell of death in that warfare. Couple texts and they all share. Air holes in that front nose. Double clipping that rubber grip. Get the pistol now, dump those and we got it. Ain't no stopping the 100 niggas with guns on them. We don't wanna come from. My nigga, let it blow. Ain't no stopping the 100 shells from one direction. My homie strapped, I hope you crawl away. My nigga, let it go. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Yeah, pistols up in the air. Let it go. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Yeah, pistols up in the air. Ain't no blocking these 100 rounds. Ain't no watching, we gun them down. Crunch time when I dump mine. Ain't no stopping, we running town. 16 in that black block. Shit mean on that back block. Drug wars with them drug laws and them bitches fiend for that crack rock. Coke fiends in that white bitch. Don't lean in that slight itch. All over this cold green. I done sold dreams for that right fit. 38 be my best friend. 30 weight in that West End. Dead cop when that leg pop. Headshot with your vest in. Smith and West in that waistband. Just a mess in that wasteland. Hammers ripped with the banana clips and you pray to God that they cage in. Never that in that Beretta clap. Left head in that long shit. No fear when there's folks near. We never scared of that long bit. 25 of that L shit. Couple die when them shells spit. Shout the homies that do the time when they do the crime, they don't tell shit. This the anthem, they got guns. Full of Yodas and shotguns. Grip the butt, your pistol tuck. Lift it up, you got one and I'm gone. Ain't no stopping the 100 niggas with guns on them. We don't wanna come from. My nigga, let it blow. Ain't no stopping the 100 shells from one direction. My homie strapped, I hope you crawl away. My nigga, let it go. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Yeah, pistols up in the air. Let it go. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Yeah, pistols up in the air. Let it go. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Yeah, pistols up in the air. Let it go. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air. Pistols up in the air.
Salute, y'all. What's going on, man? One more smoke session, man, for the weekend. But Devin Haney is in the best shape of his life. He should win this fight against Brian Norman Jr. But will that be enough? Let's get back to it.
I need to know when his
Oh, my fault, y'all. Salute everybody. Mark, you was good. Oh man, so let's get to I know Marky be, you know what I'm saying? He got his breaks in between work. Get your little 10-15 minute break, crack your knuckles before you start another assignment. I know Marky be in front of the computer all day. Nigga, don't dry your eyes out, nigga. But So let me get to this real quick. This Devin Haney, right? I ran into I ain't run into, I seen it. So, and I've been saying this, and a lot of people been saying this for a while. Now he's just admitting it. And fighters sometimes they, after a while they tell you the truth. So we're gonna run a disclaimer across. So we don't fair use. We don't need nobody, trying to snatch my shit down. So yeah, let me play this real quick, right? And we can hear how Devin Haney is telling us how he feel. I'm gonna play a few things, but I'm gonna run both analogies.
It's the best I felt. I feel, more of my normal self. A lot of people don't know that. I used to be fucking killing myself to make that weight.
Devin, we knew that, Devin. We could see it in your eyes, bro. If you couldn't see that in your eyes, then you was tripping. You can, when your eyes, your skin was so sucked in underneath there, and then the next day you be replenished and buff and muscular in a motherfucker. There was nothing new there. So yeah, we knew that you was cutting weight, damn near killing yourself. We knew that.
The day before the weigh, I'd be like literally dying, but that was a sacrifice that I was willing to do to, make those big fights happen.
What's your motivation? What goes into choosing these opponents? Because you choose the
Blue Blood asking the questions at this time.
best of the best every single time. What's your motivation? What's your mindset like?
That's just the fighter that I am. I've been like this, since I came out. Since I was calling out Robert Easton, since I was, talking about Luke Campbell. Since coming up, I always been like this. I want to make the biggest, best fights happen. So, it's nothing new. So that's why I was a bit confused when people were saying that, oh, he's gonna pull out of the fight or some bullshit there's some bullshit narrative that they were trying to come up with. They must forgot the type of fighter that I am. That I asked these challenges. I asked to fight the best fighters in the world.
I'm gonna tell you right now, he looks the same size as Bud Crawford right now.
Now, if y'all say a guy is this and he's that, then I want to see it for myself.
Now you got some high-profile sparring partners, man. Charles Conwell, right? Guys like that. That's not often that you see that, for sparring partners.
Yeah,
Troy
sure.
Isley, right?
Yeah.
What went into that?
I mean, I want to get some guys that would, emulate Brian Norman to, the best of their ability, but also fighters that was, prove.
I don't know. I don't see them. Troy Isley fights from mid. He fights from mid to inside too. Yeah, I can see that. But Troy looks muscular and looks strong, but he don't have a lot of pop. I like Troy. Charles Conwell is a pressure fighter. So yeah, I can see that.
Moving in, and that was good. I came up with Troy. I came up with Charles. So I'm very familiar with them, and I think they'll be champions in the future as well.
Yeah, those some big dudes, man. How it feel being in there?
Yeah, y'all will see on November 22nd that I'm a big dude.
Right there, I'm gonna stop it right there for a second. We definitely know you. We definitely fucking know that you're not a small guy. We definitely know that shit. We definitely know that just chilling, you know what I'm saying? This was a couple years ago that you 165 pounds, no problem for you. Right about now, 28, you definitely probably walk around 180 pounds. When you're not at fight weight. You definitely 180 pounds. Like just when you an athlete and you athletic, like, you know what I'm saying? You start sizing guys up. You start sizing guys up. It's real. You size them up. You know what I'm saying? Can I jump higher than him? Is he stronger than me? This, that, and the third. And you like, you start sizing niggas up. You like, little. Or this nigga, I thought y'all said this nigga was big. You know what I mean? You start sizing niggas up. And Devin Haney, and the way he's talking to me, so maybe he'll go to 54. You just don't do that unless you already a big guy. And his MO has been to be the bigger, stronger, faster, younger guy. Is what it is. That's what it is. And fight lower weight classes. A lot of people do it. He just happened to have a big name for it. So let me get back to I'm gonna skip over this a little bit too.
Hey Devin, speaking of the 147-pound division, there's talks about Pacquiao versus Mayweather. What do you think about that fight?
Shit really means nothing.
Shoes look familiar from your last fight. What do you remember most about?
Shit, I was just running the whole fight. That's what y'all said, right? That's what y'all said.
Devin, what do you think about the
When y'all
criticism?
say when y'all say it's not funny, but when I say it's
What do you think about that criticism, though? Does it get to you?
nah, they're gonna say something regardless. They're gonna say something regardless. I just want to keep beating whoever they put in front of me, the best fighters in the world, and let them keep making up new people, because that's what they're gonna do. And I understand that, and it's part of boxing. Every day, see somebody new, so they just keep making new guys, and I'll just keep beating them.
You know, talk to us about that night. Ryan said he had some issues fighting out in the street like that. Was it a weird environment to fight in?
He must never had a street fight, huh? Yeah, nah.
Box Strike doesn't go into that, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, it was. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. It was a good event.
It's definitely one of one.
I do like the answers that Devin is giving. No, this ain't emotion. I don't see no emotion in him. Too eager to say something. He seems like he's calm, cool, and collective. Like he's in his space for this fight. So that's good. That debunks a lot of the shit I've been saying about.
You know, to make it sound good.
More needs to be done, and Tom Neely is the man to.
I do like that. I do like him. I do like the way he's answering the questions. I like he's just sitting there wrapping his hands. Like, y'all can go check it out, man. It's Fight Hub. You can go check it out. But this lets me know that he may even be the bigger guy in the fucking when it comes fight night. He may look like the bigger guy. Will he be the stronger guy? I don't know. He's sparring bigger guys, allegedly. I don't know. And like last night, the unknown, when Coach Rick said that, the unknown is you really don't know who or what Brian Norman's bringing. We don't know if we're gonna see the Brian Norman that wants to just stand there and slug it out and fight everybody else's fight, or does he come out and show us something different and fights his fight? He is the champion. He don't have to chase Devin.
Because if this fight is a stepping stone, what's the dude's last fight? Jason Saki, yeah. What was he? What was
Wait.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like they about to have some fun with his resume. Like, there's a lot of guys that, you know, the guy that he fought that was over there on Top Rank, and you know, Top Rank has the best matchmakers.
Past fights, you guys see me, you know, as a more of a shell of myself, because, you know, I was killing myself to make the weights. I feel a lot better, feel a lot stronger, and I'm excited for it.
Who you see as your partner that would be a super fight? You know, Floyd had Manny, Sugar Ray Leonard had Tommy Hearns.
I mean,
You was linked to Tank for so long. It looked like that's never gonna happen. But
yeah, I don't see that fight. I don't see that fight happening. I don't see that fight ever happening.
No, I won't be surprised if today or tomorrow, somebody's gonna be talking shit about Blue because he broke up Tank's name with that.
But still guys like Shakur, still got, Ryan Garcia. It's a huge fight. It's a lot of guys coming up. They make a new guy every day. We got Abdullah Mason, we got Kermel. It's young guys coming up, and I see them in the rear view. So I'm not, I don't think that I'm too big, or because I've been there. I've been in their position before, so I know if you want to rise, and you never know. Monday it may be a big fight, but one of those guys coming up. They got Billy Grizzly, they make
Xander Zayas at 154.
Why does everybody keep calling Xander? Why? Why does everybody keep calling for Xander? It's obvious, like, this is no disrespect, but it's obvious people think that he's the weakest link when it comes to the champion.
What's the Vargas brother? The youngest Liliano, he's coming up. There's so many big fights that can materialize. But we start with Brian Numbin on November 22nd, and maybe I'll go up to 154.
Nobody wants to.
Maybe he'll go up to 154. Like, you just don't go up and wait, man, and feel comfortable as hell. That shit just don't happen, man. You got to already know that, you know what I'm saying, it's easy for you to get to that weight class, and you'll feel stronger. Like, you got to already know that shit. And the fact that he going to be in the best shape of his life since he been boxing, like the last 10 years, he should win this fight. I don't have him winning, but he should win the fight.
Nobody wants to go up there to Regis Prograis either, did they?
Exactly.
And nobody was looking for Brian Norman.
Is the goal to be undisputed at 147 for Devin?
Man, the goal is November 22nd. You're going to see what's going to happen. Don't try to confuse us.
That's right. That's right.
First things first. No disrespect to the Normans, but they're in our way.
That's the nicest thing. That's the nicest thing I heard Bill say about the Normans. But let me shoot on over here before I get to before I get to this other interview that sparked another interview. See, like, this shit, this is why this shit is getting crazy. Devin did an interview with the Ariel nigga, right? It was a pretty good interview when he was on it. I ain't checked for it last night. I was at work. So when it was in the morning, I get up and I see that Mill City got Senior on again. He might as well just make him and Schofield junior partners to the show. But Brian Norman Sr. had a problem with what Devin said. So, and intense with the matchmaking and a lot of shit. So let's see what Devin was saying.
Training camp to lose weight, and spar pretty much for skills. So now, it's really around, game planning, getting better. Like they were for a long time. I was training camp. I would go into training camp to lose weight, and spar pretty much for skills. So now, it's really around, game planning, getting better. It's not about weight.
I mean, you look incredible. To me, it's almost like, wow. I wonder how good you would have felt. Like, do you think, man, if I would have done this like 2-3 fights ago, life would have been a lot easier for me?
Yeah, life would have been a lot easier for me. I think that, people said that I'm a weight bully, but I only stayed at those small weight classes because it was so much at stake. I had to, defend against Kambosos the second time. I was signed a contract, and then Loma, I signed a contract to do that fight, and then I went up to 140. And
I hate to say this shit, right? But they was literally trying to kick him out of the damn division because they were saying he was a big fucking guy. They were literally trying to kick him out of the division. That's why they was icing him out. Like, people was like, you can say this shit now, it's real easy, real simple. Plus, you can see like how everybody talking and the way people look and shit like that. They were trying to ice Devin Haney ass out to move out of the damn weight class. They wanted him out of the weight class. Plain and simple. They wanted Devin out of the weight class. Because they felt like, bro, you get your big ass out of here, right? So when he was saying I won't do a rehydration clause, that's because he can barely make the fucking weight. If he got to do a rehydration clause, that's gonna kill him in the fight. Because you gotta weigh in you gotta weigh a certain weight the next day at a certain time before you can just rehydrate up 20, 30 pounds. So yeah, you had a lot of stake there, but they was trying to say, man, get your big ass out of our division.
I felt all right in the first fight, or my first fight at 140 against Regis. The weight cut, like, it was hard, but it wasn't like extreme. But then for the Ryan,
if you saw, I'll be truly honest with you. If you saw Devin at that weigh-in, you was like, damn, he should have been at 140. But then when you saw him try to make weight against Ryan, you was like, damn, he can't even make 140 no more.
Fight, it was like extreme. So
was it awful? Like, was it to the point where you thought maybe you wouldn't make it?
Not that I wouldn't make it. It wasn't that extreme, but it was extreme. I would say the fight where I felt like I wouldn't make it, the second Cambosis fight was.
He looked like Skeletor the second Cambosis fight. Him and Frank Martin. Certain guys be killing themselves to make weight, and then when you see him fight now, you be like, what the fuck is that? How did he do that?
Super hard. That weight cut was bad. The Loma fight was hard. The worst one was the Cambosis, the second Cambosis fight. The Loma fight was hard, and the Ryan fight was like this number 2. That one was like super hard.
So your last fight was at 144.
Yeah.
That's kind of, it was like just a catch weight.
Yeah, that was like easy. I made that weight easy.
So you're expecting just a breeze here?
Yeah. Well, I came in. So my nutritionist, told me to come into weight. Come into training camp bigger this camp. So I came in bigger. Because obviously I had 3 pounds.
Yeah, because it's a lot easier to cut 20 than 30.
And no, I feel great. Do
you think this is it for you? Or do you think you?
No, I think I'll go up. I think I'll go up again.
Really?
Yeah.
How high do you think you go?
I don't know. Maybe like 160.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
160 eventually.
But you want to stick around at 147?
Yeah, I plan on being here for a while. Like I said, I feel great. I feel so much better. It's crazy to just I'm way more happier.
I bet you way more happier. Holy shit, I bet you way more happier, bro. Could you imagine having to eat tasteless food for 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks? Could you imagine having to eat shit with zero seasoning and shit like that? Could you just imagine that shit? Running, jumping, sparring, having motherfuckers yell at you, running in the sun, doing drills, the medicine ball. Could you imagine all of that shit and can't eat something that would taste good for you? You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker telling you when you got to go to sleep. Motherfucker telling you when you got to get up. Could you imagine? Of course you'd be happier, bro. And you looking to cut a weight that is so far off, 30, 35 pounds. Now when you got that shit cutting down, like you cutting like 15 to 20 pounds off, because you're going to stay around 160, 165. I believe Devin probably get up to 200, but definitely 180. But he's not going to have to build himself up to 54. 47 is going to become a little rough for him to make weight. He's going to leave. I don't think he's going to stress his body out anymore, just like Boots did. You know what I'm saying? Brian Norman Jr., he probably go to 54 too, but he's going to be strong no matter what. So the bigger he get, you know what I'm saying, his power may also go with him, but he may get a little bit strong.
My sparring has been showing, that how sharp I am, how much stronger I am, and they say I can't take a punch. So,
who's saying this? Who's saying this?
This is what they say. They say a lot. People say a lot. They say
People are saying you can't take a punch.
I don't know
Why?
I
Because
think they forget about the Ryan Garcia fight that I got up 3 times.
yeah. Is it
what does
just
that mean? You cannot take a punch if you
right?
Now, I kind of played this shit on purpose because on the last interview he said that shit don't bother him, but on this interview, kind of look like shit bothers you. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like Devin should win this fight because I don't think he's gonna win it, but because Devin is about to be in the best shape that he's been in probably 10 years going into a fight.
if you get up, like I don't.
Brian saying this?
No, I don't know. No, that's
Just the whispers.
What they,
Yeah.
you know, what they, but they say a lot. So, they say that I can't punch too. So, now at 147, we'll see. We'll see if I punch harder, if I could take a punch better. That's why this fight is so important to me because, you know, they say that I can't block a left hook, right? That's what they say. Well, we seen Brian Norman his last fight. He knocked the guy out cold with a left hook.
Brutal knockout.
You know, so they say I can't take a punch. Well, we got a guy who's strong, who can punch. He's for what they say, he's kryptonite to my style. So that's why this fight is such an important fight for me. And you know, turn the non-believers into believers and prove the doubters and the naysayers wrong.
That's a lot that you're not worried about. But you hear things. Could it be fuel to motivate him to come in there and do Brian Norman the way he did Regis Prograis? We shall see.
How did this come together? This fight, this particular matchup.
Yeah, so the first fight that was actually signed was the Ryan Garcia fight. You know, we signed
rematch.
for it. Yeah, the rematch. And
Is this before Times Square or after Times Square?
before Times Square?
Okay, yeah.
It was already signed. You know, we were gonna face off.
In Riyadh, right? That was the plan.
Well, we were gonna fight in Riyadh, but we were gonna face off after the New York fight.
Got it.
Do the actual face off and promote the fight. And we already had the date. We already had the fight signed, and then he lost, obviously. So then the next fight that I signed for was the Teo fight. And then Teo negotiated. We negotiated. We agreed on. He had his terms that he agreed on. I had my terms that I agreed on. I don't know what his terms was. I don't know if he knew what my terms was. It wasn't my business what his terms was because I got. They agreed to what I wanted.
Yeah.
So I didn't care what his was. And then they said that he was gonna sign at nighttime. Then he said he was having dinner with his family. And then it was the morning time. And then it was a bunch of excuses. And then he just came back and said, well, his team came back and said that he just didn't want to fight. So then
That was it. That was the reason.
Yeah, that was it.
Nothing else.
Yeah, but I had already signed.
Wow. And it would have been for this date?
No. It would have been for, I forgot the date. It would have been earlier.
But in the fall
months
time,
ago,
right?
a few months
Okay.
ago.
All right. In Riyadh.
In Riyadh,
Yeah. At what weight?
147.
Okay.
147. And then the next best fight was, Brian Norman. He's the best guy at 147. You agree?
Well, what about Boots?
Boots at 154 now.
No, I know, but was there talk of Boots before he moved up?
So Ryan did fuck up the bag. I'll say that. Ryan fucked the bag up. But I do think that Ryan, if he'd have won, see, here's the thing, right? If Ryan would have won that fight, I don't think he would have fought them. I think he would have rather tried to fight Boots and make it a bigger fight, make it like a tight, or he may have played around once he won the belt. You never know. But I don't know. He probably that would have to be signed, sealed, and delivered, saying that he's gonna be sued if he don't fight Devin.
Yeah, but I'll get to that. But
Yeah.
do you think that he's the best guy at 147?
Right now, I think it's the best fight for you. Yes.
No, the best guy at 147.
Like period.
Who's the best guy at 147?
No. I'm down. I'm in agreement. I mean, he only has one belt, but yes.
Yeah, I mean everybody has.
Right.
There's not a unified champion
Right.
at 147. So
I like how Devin didn't allow him to corner him into that question, and Devin made him give him an answer. I do like that.
So,
and again, it's not Devin. It's a lot of it be Bill, and we just want to hear Devin. So getting to hear Devin, I'm really listening.
once I beat him, I become the man at 147. I become the top guy and take over the weight class. And yeah.
So it's interesting because I just mentioned Boots. Like, was there any talk of Boots
Yeah,
at all?
so Boots' name came up as well. We we said, yeah, we'll do it. 147, let's do it. And then they came back with Eddie Hearn came back with 152 or
Oh.
152. And then I was just like, nah, I never even fought at 147. Why would I
Right.
go to 152 when he's champion, unified champion at 147? Let's fight for the belts. And then it wasn't much negotiation. That was pretty much what it was. And then it was Brian Norman.
So
Dev ain't go on and on about after the shit with Boots, and then he said what he said, and that was it, right? Now I ain't talking about this. I'm talking about like when it was mentioned, right? Cause he know how it feel. Cause he know when he had to leave that weight class, and Shakur jumped in the ring, right? And Shakur talking about some fight me, fight me, fight me, and he was like, okay, I'll fight you, but you got to take this. And when he tried to come back with negotiations, Dad was like, I'm gone. That's exactly what Boots did. Like, yo, is this or nothing? Well, I'm going to do this. Nah, it's not. Is this nothing or you do this? No, that's not what it is. You do what you get what I offered you or I'm gone, bro. Like, you got what you want what I got. I got what you want. And you want me to give you a shot at it, but I got other things to do. So I'm leaving the division that people were calling the graveyard, going into, if not the hottest division, toughest division. Yeah, I picked a damn tomato can, but ain't too many tomato cans after that. I gotta fight somebody. So yeah, but Dev coming up here, I do like that. I'll be real with you. I thought Dev would, but he probably knew Barrios was unavailable. He knew that shit wasn't gonna happen. He's in the sport. He could have been trying for that fight after Mario fought Pacquiao, but trying to negotiate with him, he gonna want A side, he gonna want this, he gonna want that. He's champion, he did this, he did that. It's gonna be back and forth. Rolly. I don't know. People would have been like, no. What's the nigga named Iku Usman or some shit like that? That's the damn. Is he? I forgot. And then Brian Norman. So like, to be truly honest with you, I like Brian Norman, but to me, he's like best welterweight by default. With Boots leaving and Stanionis losing the way that he lost. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't had a fight since then. And like the timing, Brian Norman Jr. is the best welterweight. Yeah. Lewis Crocker. Yeah. Like, nah, hell nah. But Liam Paro's up here now. So yeah, Lewis Crocker is the IBF welterweight champion of the world. Rolly's the WBA. Barrios, who we like, is like, I don't even know how he's champion, but it is what it is. And then Brian Norman Jr. When you say all of those names, Brian Norman Jr. definitely is the ace. He's definitely right now the best welterweight in the division by default. So Devin coming up here with his credentials, his accolades to get this fight, fighting Brian Norman Jr., definitely got to give him his kudos. Did he bite off more than he could chew? That's something we got to damn see.
Why I bring him up is, and I know, like you said, you have your detractors. Everyone has their detractors at the top, but I don't think you get enough credit for the fact that you're making your 147-pound debut against the best guy.
Yeah.
We had Boots in last week in studio, and it was a great chat. I like him a lot. But as we talked about with him, that wasn't the fight people wanted to see him fight. But he said, and he's totally allowed to feel this way, I wanted one fight, get my feet wet, and now it's on to the big dogs at 154, right?
Yeah.
You don't seem to subscribe to that.
I mean, that's just not me. If you look at my track record.
Yeah. It's every guy's a big dog.
Every single fight.
Right.
Since I became champion, it's been every single guy. And that's just the type of fighter that I am.
Why don't you get the credit for that though?
I think one day when I'm, retired and my feet is kicked up, then they'll give me my credit and then they'll say, Devin Haney, he's a real throwback fighter, and that's what I am. And I don't do it for them to give me my credit, because that's just the type of person that I am. I want to fight the best fighters in the world. I want to test myself against the best, and it's boxing at the end of the day. If I lose, then it is what it is. I want to test myself though. And I think that's why boxing is where it's at now, is because guys don't test themselves. Everybody cares about everybody want to be undefeated, but I genuinely want to test myself against the best fighters in the world.
All right, so enough of that. So that's how I feel about it, right? So now Devin Haney literally telling everybody he feels great, and this is the best he's felt in a long time. He's not having to kill himself in training camp, and he sounds confident. He sounds calm. He sounds like he's got everything, you know what I'm saying, together. Will it help him come fight night? We shall see. On the other hand, right? Because I'm not I don't want to talk. I'm not going to be saying shit that the dad is talking about, right? I like the fighters. Um, Brian Norman Jr., in my opinion, I just feel is peaking right now. And maybe if you would have caught him 2, 3 fights ago, Dev, at 47, I'd probably say, yeah, Dev gonna get him. But he gotta be careful because that boy's strong. But right about now, I feel something clicked with Brian Norman Jr. And that's why a lot of people are picking him to beat you. That's just that's off the eye test. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else, buddy. Off the eye test, that's what's up. So let me take some of my coffee. So I just feel that this fight, possibly, that's a long shot seeing Brian Norman beat Devin Haney in a decision, right? But some people think that Brian Norman Jr. can outbox Devin Haney because we haven't seen all of Brian's potential. We think that at a young age of 28 that we've seen everything that Devin Haney has, and what we're saying is that's all good, but the lack of power that you have to sometimes get the guys up out of there, that's and how are you going to keep somebody up off of you that don't got no power? I mean, that if you ain't got no power. But again, you've been a shell of yourself minimum 5 years. You've been a shell of yourself every time you fought. So now that you are at a decent weight, proper weight, maybe, because you say you can go to 54. Probably by the time you're 30. We may just actually see what the real Devin Haney look like come November 22nd. And no matter who wins, it's gonna be a great birthday gift because their birthdays are around each other. I think it's either Junior or Senior's birthday. But it'd be a great gift. And that's what I got on that fight, right? Not much to nothing to drag it out. I've been on last night I was on with BVO, and this fight gets a lot of people going. So it was a great, it's gonna be a great fight, hopefully, potentially be a great fight. Is Devin gonna come out there and step two? Are we gonna see him try to move like he fought with Ramirez? Is he gonna be able to frustrate Brian Norman to, smothering his punches, in and out, use the jab, keep him off balance? Is Brian Norman gonna be able to get Devin's timing down and movement and close in? Because he has power in each hand. It's a whole lot to just, take back in and consider when you got. Okay, I'm gonna stop. You got a great fighter in Devin Haney. He's a great fighter. Elite's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Yet to be seen with me sometimes. He's a great fighter. He takes on all the challenges. You know what I'm saying? Much as people don't like him, I think you're looking at a motherfucker and you're like, by the time Devin told anything he say, it's like Bill, it's like anything he say, whatever Bill said, he said. And I doubt he can keep up with every fucking thing that his father said. I doubt, I bet he's probably on the shit when they like, yo, Dad, look what he like, man, I don't even care, man. You know what I'm saying? He may check it and be like, later on, 3-4 days later after, Bill been on a rant. And that's in the past. I doubt that man keeps up with everything his father says, but you see him in this type of fight, a little bit dangerously worried for him because, yeah, he is a throwback fighter, but throwback fighters, some of them, you know what I'm saying? Some of them got knocked out and were able to come back and regain where they were. In this day and age, motherfuckers be like, man, you lose or you get knocked out, you ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? They just bury you unless you Mexican. I'm just kidding. If you black and you lose, it's like they bury you. I told you it really wasn't that good. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be careful. We gotta not worry about shit like that. So seeing Devin and Brian Norman get it, I do think Brian Norman probably. I think he may get Devin down, and Devin slows down his movement later in the round. I think Brian Norman may catch him round 10 or 11, and then we're gonna really see what they both made of. But on that note, right, Layla Ali responded with part 2. And I know a lot of people seen it because I knew it was gonna get some clicks and likes and views because when I seen it, I was on the way to work and it was on for 5 minutes. It had 5,000. It was on for 6 minutes at 6. She was running it up by the minute, right? Even though, she said she's not monetizing it. So we're gonna take a look at that. Now we're gonna see in a minute because she says she's not monetizing her channel and none of that. So I don't own the rights to this, but if you haven't seen this, this was Layla's part 2.
Just as I promised, I'm bringing you part 2 of Set the Record Straight. Now, if you haven't already watched part 1, I suggest you go back and do so you'll understand why I needed to go to these lengths to lay the truth out once and for all. For years, I've been characterized as unsupportive, as being a hater, envious of her success, and as someone who disrespected her so badly. Now, in part 1, I discussed the past, what was said from both of us on both sides. I showed the brunt of what came out of each of our mouths. Nothing was twisted, nothing was taken out of context, just the truth of what was said. I also showed how she even tried to use my father's name to discredit me. Pretty unthinkable. Hopefully, you went and watched the full versions of the clips I shared in part 1, just as I suggested, because they're on YouTube. Now, I want to take just a second to thank those of you that left supportive comments. Even if you judge the situation wrongly.
Now, yo, I'm gonna be truthfully honest with you. I'm gonna speed up a little bit, but this is a fucking knockout. This is a knockout in a totally different form. This gracefully, classy, respectfully, firmly, with kindness. This is a knockout in a media form. This is her showing certain shit about and links that, you know, and I didn't say length, but how she can do all of this without having to go on all these podcasts and have a camera in front of her whenever somebody says something to bring it up. This is how she's gonna kill you. And you know what I'm saying? The 26-minute video. You gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? Who you fucking with?
Just in a new situation. We're dealing with the same person who plays the victim card, makes up lies, deliberately twists my words, and creates a false narrative. Look, she fooled the public before, so she feels like she could just keep it going. Now, before I get into part 2, let me just remind you who we're talking about here.
Jump right to it since you brought her up. Layla Ali.
I always knew that Layla wasn't intimidated by me, you know, and she may have not ever said nothing, but I always knew that she questioned who was the better fighter between me and her. But I always knew that she questioned who was the better fighter between me and her, because I have a better amateur background and now a better professional background. So I know that she always kind of felt a little threatened, but from when I first met her, I always knew that, you know, she don't love boxing.
What does being the GOAT mean to you? Of course, it got all the accomplishments and
people that I spoke to that played professional, when they retired, it took them a minute to get away from the shit so they could move on. So a lot of them can't move on. It's hard. They had therapy, drugs, you know what I'm saying, financial ruin, alcohol. A lot of them, they can't deal with it after the game is over. After, you know, when the game's over, when the game's pass you by, it passes you by. A lot of them can't deal with that shit. So if she was able to transition, best believe it probably was hard as hell to just get up out of it. Everybody, it's hard to be Jay Cutler. And I use him as an example because Jay Cutler probably was like, as soon as he was done with football, he was like, thank God I got in here and got this robbery and got the fuck up out of there. Because he really never gave a fuck. So to say that, you know, she don't love boxing is different. She just probably understands the business side of it a whole lot better than you do. And in this video, she gonna show that.
you know, all the belts and everything like that. But it also means, like, to me, just making a blueprint for the women that's coming up behind me, the original way.
You know, there's a lot of girls who use boxing to promote their with their modeling career. To be in a magazine or something. But I use
this shit is funny right here, just to throw that up there like that. Like, she sat down and made this video for you. This shit was a little different.
use boxing for boxing. And it promotes, and boxing is my brand. It's just like I'm not trying to use boxing to promote something else to help me with something else.
Having, like, I'm really building a blueprint where I can tell other girls, like, listen, if you do this, this is what can happen. Yeah. If you build your brand like this is the direction that it can go. If you build it like that, it can go this way.
I feel like I just want to get, like, somehow, if it can be figured out, what is it that the brands look for in an athlete to where I get the $20 million payday to represent, one of these big brands or something like that. You have to have like I don't know if it's a certain look or a certain tone or a certain, you know,
I think if you
story.
just continue
I
to
don't
be
know.
you,
Of course, being like a great person, being a great role model. Marshall a bitch, that's it. She's a bitch, and she's gonna keep being one. She's a hater. She wish she was me. She wish she had the belts, the gold medals, and she don't want to be me. She wish she was black and everything. It's just sad.
Now, I watched the. I mean, you can go watch it, man, on her shit, right? Because I don't want to do the whole joint, right? I'll probably jump back on later on tonight. But I was literally listening on the way home, right? I was listening to this certain channel, right? And I'm hearing motherfuckers going back and forth. And the funny shit was how everybody was like, people people don't even know how the shit started. And so then you just take a side off of what you think somebody else said from what you heard, right? So if we establish that one person started the shit, right? Or got offended, and the second person responds after enough, you know what I'm saying? After enough allegations and backlash, she responds. Hopes is left at that, right? But you just keep going on for years and years and years. It's you're poking the bear. So when the bear actually claws you, you want to get mad at the bear, right? And I was just like, this shit sound. I'm like, yo, do y'all raise y'all kids like that to just keep letting somebody, you know what I'm saying, punch on, don't hit back and nothing like that? Don't you? Is that how you raise your kids? Or I don't like, is Layla supposed to call the media police or something to tell Clarissa to leave her alone? Or is she just supposed to be a grown up and respond? But if she responds in the way that she can respond, because she's got a slick mouth, I don't understand it. Makes a little sense to me. Second of all, Layla's almost 50. You're around 30. So you want to fight your auntie. Because your auntie used to be that bitch. Now you that bitch. But there's a clash because you think that you was better than TT. Well, we trying to tell you, don't even worry about that because it was a different time. Just be you. But there's nobody in your eye, there's nobody there for you to fight. But there's a bunch of girls that actually do want to fight her. There's a bunch of girls that actually do want to fight her. There's a few girls. And I don't know if the bread ain't right or I don't know if the bread ain't right. I don't know about what, but there's a few women out there that could fight, that she could fight right now. And you know, trying to fight 50-year-old Layla Ali is definitely a fucking money grab. Like, be truly honest with you. You put in training for how long? You know what I'm saying? And like, if I'm not mistaken, damn near all her trainers are you know what I'm saying? Like Roger's gone, Senior not doing so well. Like who would she train with? Who would she feel familiar with? It just make no sense. Like if you want to see who would win in their prime, put them on the damn video game. Put them on a video game, and we'll see. Because here are a few girls that she did say would fight Clarissa Shields. And I mean, you should know some of these girls.
AB fights at 130 pounds, and she was willing to face her. Franchon gave her a tough fight and has been calling her out ever since. She's 1-1 with Marshall, who's eager for a rematch. Gabriel's dropped her and has been calling her out too. Shadeja Green would be a great matchup, and she's on her hit list. Even MMA champion Chris Cyborg wants to step into the boxing ring to face her. 54-year-old Chevelle Hallback has been issuing challenges. Nobody is scared of her.
We're in a generation.
So she does got some competition that she can fight. People think Shadeja Green would be one. The Marshall rematch. I wouldn't suggest cutting weight. That trying to have AB, Alicia Baumgartner meet you at 54. That'll be a lot because you're fighting at 68 and you cut weight there. That 14 pounds would be crucial. Again, I would definitely do an 8 to 12 week period with that. The fight Savannah Marshall again, that'd be a good one. There's not a lot of competition. Not like there's 50 solid women out there for her to fight that are on could get you some money. People going to see that. Nah, you got those. And the 54-year-old woman, but like everybody else, there's your competition right there. Clear that back, clear that out. Make sure there was no doubt in that. Finish this and go ahead and finish the sport out. And again, not being chauvinistic or nothing, but your career span is short. Unless you don't plan on having a family. But you say you plan on having a family. I don't think you can be sparring and training while you knocked up. And after that, your body has to heal in a totally different way. So you should get rid of those fights, those 4 to 5 fights, and then retire. If you won't feel like you can come back 5, 6 years later after you started, have about 1 or 2 kids, and you still got the urge you want to come back, then come back. Then you'll see if there's somebody like you when you come back talking the same shit to you. But that's what I got, man. I'll see y'all later on tonight. Y'all keep smoking, man. Have a go.